Joining us via Skype is human rights advocate Bukky Sonibare. Bukky, it's good to have you join us right now on TVC Breakfast. Now, this is not the first time this the anti-social media bill is being fronted for at the what is it called, at the National Assembly. I wonder, Nigerians have been asking questions. What is really this interest on social media and trying to, one way or the other, whether it is the nomenclature or the title is tweaked in such a way that it looks nice? I wonder what is at the core of trying to, put forth this bill.
Let me start by saying that we are in a very perilous time. Perilous time as a people, because we have seen coordinated attacks on the voices of the people. And when you look at several bills that are being pushed by the legislative arm, and when you look at several acts by the executive arm, I can say categorically that we are really in dangerous times. The hate speech bill, social media bill, NGO bill, they are all coming together at once. And these are bills that, when you look at the core, they are, designed in such a way that will guard the voice of the citizens. The social media right now remains the main tool for which we as a people can express our opinion. So when the legislative arm is trying to regulate the social media under the guise of trying to control internet falsehood and manipulation, it tells you that indeed the human rights of the people, which Nigeria is signatory to a lot of international instruments that guarantees it, is really, really being attacked at this moment.
As a civil society organization, between when this bill came up and now, seeing that there'll be a hearing on 9th of March, what is the level of engagement you have had with the National Assembly to ensure that it sees reasons as to ensuring that this bill does not see the light of day?
So one of the engagements in the way we could possibly do was what we did yesterday, to come out to begin to express what our dissatisfaction is and why or how we do not want that bill. The social media, if you look at how things have played out since the advent of Twitter, Facebook, and all of these platforms, that is the avenue through which we are able to communicate with our leaders. And if that same avenue is trying to be shut down, then it means that this engagement that you have talked about will not be possible. When we have a bill that, based on the intention, because one of the questions I had to ask myself is, what exactly is the intention of this bill? And if you look at section 1A of the bill, which says that the bill aims to prevent the transmission of false statements or declaration of facts in Nigeria, the question really is that the solution that the legislative arm thinks is best for the issue of misinformation and internet falsehood, or whatever guise that they are calling it? So we are saying that there are several provisions, and I can begin to dissect this particular bill for us to look at those provisions that are anti-people. We had an engagement with the Human Rights Commission, the Secretary of the Human Rights Commission, sometime last week, as part of efforts to say no to this bill. And in that particular engagement, one of the things that the Secretary said is that every bill that passes out from the legislative arm must go through what he calls the human rights compatibility test.
Okay.
So if you bring a bill and we do a test, a human rights compatibility test, does it promote human rights, or does it really frustrate human rights and shrink the civil state?
All right. Okay, Bukky, for want of time, I'm going to put you on hold for now, but this discussion is going to continue so we can understand other aspects of this bill and what the way forward could be. Thank you very much, Bukky Sonibare, for your time on this show right now. All right, joining us via Skype is human rights advocate Bukky Sonibare. Bukky, it's good to have you join us right now. The government has said times and time again that this bill is not meant to gag the media or prevent Nigerians from demanding for accountability. But what is your take, and how much of confidence do you have in that line that government has, the line or the statement that government has always put out like that?
Let's look at the content of the bill to be able to do a juxtaposition between what the government says that the bill seeks to achieve and what the actual reality is. If the government keeps saying that it is not intended to gag, voices of the people, then look at the content of the bill. In the Constitution, Section 39 guarantees, our freedom of expression. And in that same Constitution, it says that any law that is at variance with the Constitution is to that extent of that variance null and void, the extent of inconsistency. So when you now have a bill, for instance, that says that if you say anything that is against the government, that Nigeria's relations to other countries are jeopardy, or that may, all those things that the bill says. When you have a bill like that and the content like that, in line with what the government is saying and the wants to do.
All right, thank you, Bukky, for speaking with us. Well, joining us via Skype is human rights advocate Bukky Sonibare. Good morning, thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Now, how far is the civil society organization willing to go to ensure that this bill does not come to light?
So as a group, first, we have been advocating before the public hearing, and what we had yesterday, the press conference, was one of them. And then as a civil society group as well, a coalition, let me put it that way, we have also put together different memos on the different issues that we have identified regarding the bill. So the extent we will go is such that we will not just advocate before the public hearing. We are taking active participation in the public hearing as well. And thereafter, we would continue to sensitize the public and talk about the issues and ensure that a draconian and repressive bill like this does not see the light of the day.
All right, Bukky, if the National Assembly decides to go ahead despite all of this, what scenarios can play out if they insist they still want to pass the bill?
It's going to really affect human rights in Nigeria. See, let's clarify something. Do we have issues of internet falsehood in Nigeria? Yes. Do we have issues of manipulation? Yes. But what we are saying is that the legislation is not the best solution. We are looking at the need for strengthening existing laws to sensitize the public and look at the agencies. Let me bring out one or two parts of the bill that is really problematic, which, if the bill passes, will really show how problematic it will be for us as a people. First, the fact that the police, for instance, the law enforcement agency, as the bill puts it, has, unlimited powers. Once they identify that a particular falsehood has been peddled, on social media, then they can arrest the person, they can shut down internet access, and they can actually imprison the person. And even the internet service provider will be banned, will be sanctioned, and so many other things. We just think that with a bill like this, we do not want a situation where any member of the public will not be able to express themselves. At the bottom of this is the fact that the constitutionally guaranteed right to freedom of expression will be violated if this bill passes, and that we do not want to see.
Would you say that you are getting as much support from the public with regards to pushing for this bill not to see the light of day?
The support that we need, we already have. the support of ourselves, of the sensible and reasonable members of the society. If we look at the social media, for instance, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, people are talking about it. One thing that I notice is that because people really do not know how dangerous this bill is, people are unable to really connect. But if you go on social media, everybody is talking about it. The people in the entertainment industry are talking about it. I mean, imagine if a comedian passes a joke and then had to wonder if he will get back home because he has just passed a joke that somebody considers to be hateful. Or you compare Nigeria to another country, say Benin Republic, and because the bill provides that if you say anything that affects Nigerian relations with other countries, you can actually be picked and arrested. So it puts us under pressure. One thing I know is that the Nigerians do not want this bill, and every legislation in Nigeria must be a reflection of what the people want. And since the people do not want this bill should not be allowed to pass.
All right, Buki Shonibare, thank you so much for speaking with us.